So ever since Samsung and Apple stopped supplying chargers in their flagship phones, I've been on the hunt to find the best value, most compact, multi-use power brick, and I think I finally found it. ACEFAST recently launched their super compact yet powerful 65-watt charger. Somehow, despite how small it is, they were able to fit 3 output ports on it. I'm really excited to test it and let you know if it's worth your money. Let's get right into it.
One of the biggest environmental threats to our planet is plastic pollution in our oceans.
So we all know that the new and hot eco-friendly trend for smartphone manufacturers like Apple and Samsung is to no longer include complementary chargers or power bricks in their box to supposedly save the planet.
Galaxy S22 is the first smartphone to incorporate repurposed fishing nets.
Obviously, that's a load of crap. We know that this is some form of shrinkflation. In fact, popular YouTubers like Mr. Who's the Boss cover this topic in great detail and expose that these big corporations are simply off-putting their carbon footprints to us, the consumer, forcing us to go out and buy another charger, causing extra carbon emissions thanks to the truck deliveries and more packaging. Now, you may say, hold on, can't I just use the many chargers I've accumulated over my life? Well, not everyone has the luxury to use their current device's charger, assuming your phone was purchased before 2021. You see, when I sell my phone or tablet, I have to include all the original accessories that came in the box because most buyers are quite picky and very sensitive when they're not getting their original accessories. That's at least my experience in Canada. Okay, well, let's say you have many old chargers lying around in your closet, but there's still a problem. Those chargers you accumulated over the past decade are probably really outdated. Look at the labeling of those chargers and see what the max wattage is. If you're lucky, you may have a charger that outputs anywhere something between 15 and 25 watts. Just look at the voltage in amps and multiply the two numbers together. For example, this old Samsung fast charger is rated at 5 volts and 2 amps, meaning that its max output is 10 watts. But my Samsung S20 can super fast charge at 25 watts, which means if you're using the old charger, you're not taking full advantage of all the features on your phone, which is money and time wasted, especially when you're waiting for your new phone to charge up. The problem of slow, outdated chargers gets worse as your device battery size increases. Imagine trying to charge a Samsung Tab S8 with 10,000 milliamp battery with a 10-watt charger. You'd be waiting the entire day just to use that device. Now, thankfully, ACEFAST Power Brick charges at a high speed of 65 watts, which easily surpasses the max 45-watt charging speed of a typical tablet like the Samsung Tab S8. Heck, this little compact charger can even reliably charge and power my 2019 Macbook Pro 16-inch without any problems. Let's talk about the design of this charger. First, you can tell by its size that it's super compact, and I absolutely love the form factor. The prongs snap back into place, and that prevents the power brick from getting caught onto something in your bag. What's crazy about the size is that I can easily plug this power brick right next to something else that is already plugged into my outlet. You can see in this video that the size is just perfect as it sits right next to another plugged in device, unlike some of the bulkier chargers that take up a lot of space on your wall. Now let's compare the design and size of the ACEFAST charger with Apple's 96-watt charger and Chotech's 60-watt charger. Now, obviously, the Apple charger is way bulkier because it has 30 more watts of power delivery. But in real use, that extra 30 watts of power is not needed at all. I've been using a 60-watt charger for a couple years on my power-hungry 2019 i9 8-core MacBook Pro 16-inch laptop, and it has worked marvelously. So I'd much rather choose a compact charger that weighs much less and takes up less room in my travel bag than have that unnecessary 30 watts of extra power delivery. Now you can see that the 60-watt Chotech charger is a bit smaller, but it only has one USB-C port, which really reduces its utility factor. The killer feature on the ACEFAST charger is that it has multiple outlets, 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A. Trust me, I can't stress how much of a value add this has been, especially when I need to charge smaller devices like my smartwatches, Fitbits, which require a USB-A interface. Another situation where having multiple outputs is extremely convenient is when you're limited with the number of power outlets nearby, or simply you just want a more streamlined appearance. I really hated the sight of my outlet when it had a big clunky power brick. It was really just an eyesore. So in my bedroom, I only had one outlet near my bed, which severely limited the number of devices I could plug in. Before, I could only charge my phone, but now I can charge up to 3 devices, which gives me a lot of options. I can finally have a wireless Qi charger and a wired charger, both rated at super fast according to Samsung. Now, why would I want a wireless charger and a wired charger next to my bedstand? Well, as you may know, wireless charging is not optimal for the health of your lithium-ion battery since it generates more heat than a wired connection. And worst of all, it takes much longer to fully charge a device, which increases its heat exposure. But thanks to Samsung's new battery protection feature, which limits charging to 85%, I can feel somewhat comfortable using wireless charging. The benefits of wireless charging are that it encourages me to charge more often, and there's less wear and tear on my USB-C port, and it's just so much easier at night to simply plop my phone into the cradle versus struggling at night to blindly plug it in. But let's say I'm leaving the house in 10 minutes and my phone is completely dead and I need a fast charge ASAP. Well, no worries, as I have my reliable wired super fast charger readily available. So with the ACEFAST charger, you truly get the best of both worlds with this type of multi-outlet charger. Also, I'm really happy to report that ACEFAST did not cheap out and actually included a 6-foot USB-C cable. This cable is equipped with a e-marker chip, which helps adjust its current and voltage to give a stable power delivery. It's also made from a high-quality braided cable, which prevents a lot of tangling, and it should last a lot of twists and bends. The included cable does support data transfer, but it's only USB 2.0. Because the cord is so long, I actually use it as an external monitor for my Sony camera using the Sony imaging app. So I thoroughly tested the charging capabilities of this 60-watt charger. First, there's absolutely no coil whine, no noise, no annoying high-pitched humming, which you would typically get from a cheap charger. On my Samsung S20 phone, I use the app Ampere to compare the charging speeds of the ACEFAST charger and the official included Samsung 25-watt charger. You can tell that the ACEFAST charger is charging a bit faster than the official charger. Now do note that 25 watts for the Samsung S20 all the way to the S22 is the theoretical max limit. Typically, to get the highest speeds, you need to charge from a 0% battery, and it's not always guaranteed to be charging at the 25 watts. This is totally normal. I've also used the charger quite extensively with my 16-inch Macbook Pro, which has 8 cores and an i9 processor with 32 gigs of RAM. The power brick delivered a consistent 65-watt charge to my MacBook without a hitch. In fact, despite having the official Apple 96-watt charger, I've been using 60-watt chargers for many years, and I've never been inconvenienced by the slightly reduced charging speed. In fact, the main reason why I use a 60-watt charger for my MacBook really has to do with my office setup. You see, it's pretty common to mount a power bar underneath your desk to save space, but gravity becomes a big problem. Apple's heavy charger would always fall down when plugged upside down into my power bar. Now with the ACEFAST charger, I had zero issues with this because it just weighs like a feather. It was held very securely in place, and this is one of the main reasons to invest in a charger this small, is that it has many mounting options. So to conclude this video, I want to wrap this up. Is it worth investing in one of these? Well, obviously, yes. I definitely think it's worth it, especially that we're no longer shipping phones with a charger inside the box. And as these phones get faster and they charge at 45 watts, maybe someday in the future it's going to charge at 65 watts, I think this is going to pay for itself in the future because you're going to be using it for many generations to come. The second thing is that this is a super compact, easy to travel with compact charger, and it has multiple uses. It has 3 ports, so it's one charger to rule them all. It's going to replace all your chargers so that when on your next trip, you don't have to pack a whole bunch of different chargers like all of these, for example. And with this size, it's going to be really helpful even in the house. You're going to have it next to your bedstand. You can have 3 different chargers, 3 different devices charging onto this, and it's going to be really convenient because it's going to make your wall and all the wires look a lot more streamlined. You're not going to have this big bulky thing attached to your wall. Another reason to go with this charger, especially if you have a laptop like the MacBook that is powered by USB-C, which is the new norm these days, is that it's super light, so you can have this mounted underneath your desk. You're not going to risk it falling out and being damaged or whatever because it's super light, and it's so easy to mount this on a power bar that is mounted underneath your desk. And of course, it's a reliable MacBook charger alternative, so you don't need to use that heavy 96-watt charger. It totally works fine on those power-hungry MacBook Pros. So that's it for this video. I hope I convinced you that investing in a good power brick is a good idea. And let me know your thoughts. Are you going to go out and invest in a power brick, or are you going to be using some of the older chargers on your newer phones or tablets and maybe be charging at a slower pace? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.